In this video, I'll be showing you the steps I use to make a spinning puzzle box. Here is the puzzle box in action. Spin the box hard to unlock it. Put the lid back on and shake hard to lock the box. The first step to making the box, which I will not be showing, is to make the pieces necessary to make the box. In this video, I'll be using pieces that have mitered corners, but box joints would work too. The first several steps create the recesses and holes that these solid brass flat head rivets will travel within. I first drill the recesses that allow the head of the rivet to slide out of the way when the box is spun. Since the rivets I use have a head with a diameter of 1/4 of an inch, I use a 5/16 drill bit to ensure there's no chance of the rivet catching. I drilled down a little more than half of the length of the rivet, so in this case about 0.35 inches. These are the finished box pieces before assembly. Also on the screen you'll see the dimensions of the pieces that I used, but I believe this technique would work for any size box. Enjoy this short musical interlude as we fast forward through the assembly of the box. Next, make the pieces that the rivets will slide through. For these pieces, use wood that has a thickness equal to half the length of the rivets. So in this case, I'm using wood that is 1/4 of an inch thick. These pieces should also be wide enough to cover up the holes that we drilled a few steps ago. Now, drill a hole through each of the pieces you just made. These holes should be in the middle of each piece. They should also be a little wider than the diameter of the shaft of the rivet. So in this case, I'm using a 9/64 bit. For this next step, it's helpful to have a scrap piece of wood that will place the support pieces at just the right height for the rivets to move freely. When applying the glue, make sure it has no chance of interacting with the rivet. After placing the support piece in its correct location, I shake the box to make sure the rivet moves smoothly. Repeat this step until all 4 support pieces are installed. Next, we will move on to making the lid. You will need 2 pieces, one for the lid and one for the rivets to catch on when the box is locked. To make the stop for the rivets, use a router to cut a rabbet around the perimeter of the smaller piece. The height of the rabbet should be a little more than the distance from the top of the box to just below the rivets. I'm using the MDF board just to ensure that the small piece stays perpendicular to the fence. Here's what the piece should look like when finished. The last step is to glue this piece to the center of the underside of the lid. Thanks for watching. You can follow me on Instagram at woodworking_for_fun.